Going on, my friends? Welcome to your seat at the table. I'm Rick, and got a little gray and white mama sitting here, and we are looking at the second edition AD&D source book for Forgotten Realms, Cormyr. Cormyr. It's all a matter of how you want to pronounce it, right? Uh, this was this was an interesting and is an interesting setting in the Faerun, or the Forgotten Realms. It is one of the oldest and most interesting kingdoms of the continent of Faerun. Cormyr is the land of classic fantasy wherein a strong king rules his subjects fairly, evenly, nobles struggle against each other for little power the king doesn't keep for himself, and adventuring companies clear the forest of ferocious monsters, etc., etc. So this is a great setting for like a new group of people who are just setting out. This is also a great setting for those people who are thinking of a King Arthur's court kind of setting or the traditional medieval fantasy setting environment for them. So, of course, like a lot of these books, the cover is a standalone removable, and we have a overall map of the general vicinity, Lake of the Dragons, Cormyr in principle, and the surrounding boundaries. Then we have the major cities and statistics here on the in the cover, and then we have a smaller version of Emercy and a Yat key fort, and of course the entries into the back. Yes, I know, Molly. Then we get into the book itself and introduction, geography, history, society, the ruling class, the common folk, the military, the Cormite mage, adventures and adventuring. So this was produced in 1994 and designed by Eric Haddock and a bunch of different people's names on there, right? Okay. So, well, in the way here, introduction, venturing in Cormyr, what's inside, geography, the boundaries and borders, climate, topography, the far sea marshes and the marshes of Tun, the goblin marches and the high moors. In some ways, if you're familiar with Greyhawk, the original Greyhawk campaign setting, this would fit right in that kind of vibe for a long time. And there's so many other settings in Faerun, in the Forgotten Realms, that are so not like Cormyr. Cormyr kind of stands out as the uber fantasy kingdom setting with the good king, etc., etc. So we got the Helmlands, Hermit's Woods, the Halleck Forest, the King's Forest, the Stonelands, yes. And we got the capital city is Suzail with a map and a key to the city, of course, to the map. We got major cities, the vast swamp. So we talk about Suzail. This is the royal capital, the kingdom of Cormyr, etc., etc. Talk about the seat of power, commerce in the capital, security, society, religion, notable citizen, history. Then we go into a variety of other large communities. So Varsember, about 46,000 inhabitants. And Arabelle, about 17 to 25,000 inhabitants. And Tiverton at Tiverton's Gap, around 12,000 inhabitants. You get the gist of it, right? So we get into smaller towns, Castle Kilgreg, Castle Craig, Evenstar, Espar, all the information you need on these little communities and where they're located and their primary stock and trade, etc., etc. Then we get into history of Comar itself, the Lost King, the Land of Peace, law and order, entertainment, the royal court, the legal court, interclass relations, the common folk, the nobles, the local lands, the royal family, the noble families, important nobles, other family or other noble families, the lords of Cormyr, the common folk. Is If one is not a noble, local lord, a member of the military, a mage, or an adventurer, then one is usually referred to as a commoner. Farmers are perhaps the most stable group in Faerun. Cormyr itself is a conservative, civilized, and farming is its largest occupation, which would be expected from a medieval setting, right? Craftsmen, merchants in politics, merchants and chromatic expansions, seaward expansions. Then we get into the military, the purple dragons, their tactics, Stonelands, the Goblin Marches, the High Horn, keeping the peace, the Cormite Mage, or the War Wizards of Cormyr, which is a real thing. Ventures and adventuring, right? Attitudes, possible adventures, protection. And we get don't miss the grandest event in all the histories. Campaign setting. And I think I have this one somewhere. Right? I believe I got that box set out there. So Cormyr is a really nice module. You know, the irony isn't lost on me that I did not run too many campaigns set in Cormyr in the setting. I've used Cormyr as a backstop. I've used it as a stop for numerous backstories on characters of my own creation over the decades. I've used it as the occasional stopover, and we've done a few adventures in and around the vicinities of it. But generally speaking, as a whole, it's not one of the areas of Faerun that I've done a lot of campaigning in, which is ironic because I really love the setting. I find it very interesting. And the characters that pop up that are related to Cormyr that come in the various novels over the years, it really does make a difference. I think it does have additional flavor. So if you can get your hands on a copy of this, this is worth having. It's a very nice by itself. This is a campaign setting. You could use this one source book for years of play. You could potentially run a campaign or a series of campaigns set in and around Cormyr using this one book and a handful of core books and never need another book. At least that's in my opinion. But yes, and then Mama's sticking her trying her damnedest to put her mouth. Yes, what? Yeah, this is what she's doing. This is what I'm doing. Yeah, what? Yeah, you're not a microphone. No, you're not. Yeah, what? Yeah. I'm trying to say and earlier. I think she's thinking my beard's. I need a shave. Yes, I know. You and Mama both think I need a shave. I think you like the shave. You like the rough look, though, right? Okay. I'm Rick. This is Mama, and you're you. Hope you guys have yourself a great weekend. I can find the turnoff for this thing.